and welcome. My name is Amy with Yoga Life with Amy. I am a private yoga teacher and energy facilitator. I wanted to take a moment and thank Carly for all the work that she has done in coming up with the idea for this summit, finding the presenters, and keeping everything all organized. You have done such a wonderful job, and I am so thankful and honored to be a part of this summit. I also want to take a moment and thank all the other presenters for taking time out of your busy day to share your knowledge and your wisdom with all of us. Here at Yoga Life with Amy, we provide accessible yoga to help people maintain their independent lifestyle in the second half of their life. If you would like to learn more, feel free to either DM me, email, and however feels right for you to reach out to me. All of my contact information is in the notes. Today's flow will contain several of the poses that are in my free PDF with the link in the notes as well. 5 poses to increase energy. If you would like to work with me, feel free again to reach out to me. All of my contact information is below. So let's get started. Today we will start at the top of our mat. So let's begin. We're going to come to a nice standing position on your mat. Feet pointing forward. And just take a moment here. Maybe you even gently close your eyes. And just notice how you're standing. Do you feel that you're swaying side to side? Maybe even front to back. No judgment, just noticing how you're standing. Maybe you're pressing into one foot more than the other. Just noticing here. No judgments. Just noticing how your body is standing still in one spot. Maybe even take some nice deep inhales in and slowly release those exhales. Maybe even scanning the body and seeing how you're doing today. Just notice the body. Do you notice if you have any parts that might be a little cranky today? Maybe you even have some parts that are doing really well. Taking a moment to be able to take inventory on the body and see how you're doing. This is not a time for judgment, just a time to notice, to listen, and to honor our body. Let's take one more big inhale in. And exhale, slowly release. Bringing that breath back to its natural state. Butterfly, and open those eyes nice and gently. Lifting those heels on that inhale, and exhale, set them back down. Continuing here with your breath. Inhaling, lifting those heels, and exhale, setting the heels down. Just noticing here how you're doing as we warm up those legs, ankles, and feet. And maybe you even add your arms and lift those arms up when you lift those heels, and exhale, send the heels down, bend those knees, send those arms behind. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, back down. Continuing here with your breath, inhaling up and exhaling down. That next time we go up, we're going to stay up and stay here. Reach, reach, reach. Maybe even lifting those heels slightly higher. On that exhale, release and shake that all out. Walk those feet slightly wider than those hips. Arms are nice and soft next to the body. Keeping that spine nice and tall, lengthening here. And on that exhale, just start rotating side to side, allowing those hands to come in contact with the body. As we come in contact with that body, we're warming up those lymph nodes, waking them up, waking up those organs on the inside, helping them to be able to work properly. And maybe you go a little faster, maybe even lifting that back heel the opposite way you were twisting, lifting that heel up off that mat. And allowing yourself to go as fast here as feels good for you in your body. And we're slowly slowing back down. Making sure to slow it down nice and slow. Maybe even now allowing those heels to stay on the mat. And bringing that to stillness. Bringing those feet back to hip distance apart. I'm going to come back to the top of my mat here. We're going to inhale, lift those arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend those knees generously and reach for that ground. Those knees can be bent however much feels good for you. And we're going to hang here. Maybe you want to continue to hang here and reach for the ground. Maybe you want those hands on opposite elbows. And rock side to side here. Again, hanging here, rocking if that feels good for you. Bringing that to stillness, bringing those hands down toward the ground. On that next breath, bring those hands onto those thighs. Keeping that right knee straight, or keeping that right knee bent and straightening that left leg. Lift that left arm all the way up for a nice big stretch. Send that hand back down onto the thigh. Keep that left leg bent, straighten the right, and lift that right arm all the way up. Noticing where you're feeling the stretch at today. Bringing that hand back down. And slowly, slowly coming all the way back up. Inhale, lifting those arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold, keeping those legs straight. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. This last time we're going to go into our down dog. So inhale, lift those arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Send those hands onto that mat. Walking those hands straight, or walking those feet straight back, coming into that high plank, activating that pelvic tilt. If you need to, bend those knees onto the ground. Keep those elbows nice and tight. Slowly come down through that chaturanga and inhaling up in through that up dog. Tuck those toes under, send those hips up into that down dog here. And walk this out here, bending one knee and then the other. This is our first down dog, walking it out, pressing down into that thumb, pointer, and middle finger, bringing that heart closer to those legs, bringing that to stillness. Bring that right foot over and in front of that left ankle. Press that left heel all the way down, noticing the stretch here. Bringing that right foot back through center. Now let's bring that left foot across. Press that right heel down. Bringing that back in through center. Coming into that good down dog here. Inhale, look forward and walk or jump those feet forward. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Shifting that weight into that right foot. Send that left foot back to crescent, all 10 toes facing forward. Back leg is straight, front knee is over that front ankle. Lifting those arms up by those ears. Lengthening here through that spine. Feel the body. Bringing that right hand down onto that right hip, lengthening through that left arm and crossing that midline. Noticing where you're feeling that stretch at today. Inhale back in through center. Bring that left arm forward, right arm back, twisting toward that bent knee. Inhale all the way back up. Shifting that weight into that front foot, coming all the way up into that stork. Bending that left leg up as high as you can. Set that back down, bring those hands down and shake that all out. Shifting that weight into that left foot, send that right foot straight back into that crescent. Lifting those arms up by those ears. Noticing how the body feels on this side. Bringing that left hand down onto that hip, lengthening through that right arm and crossing that midline. Feeling the stretch here. Noticing where you're feeling it at. Inhale, both arms back up through center. Bring that right arm forward, left arm back, twisting toward that bent knee. Slowly coming back in through center. Press into that front leg. As you straighten that front leg, bring that right knee up into that stork pose here. Set that foot down, bring those hands to heart center and shake that out. Shifting your weight into that right foot, send that left foot straight back. Into warrior two, back foot parallel to the back edge of that mat. Reaching forward with that right arm and back with that left. Looking and gazing over that front fingers. On that next breath, bringing that back hand, that back leg, as that front arm comes up toward the ceiling. Noticing how this is feeling in the body. Taking a few deep breaths here. On that next breath, slowly coming back into that warrior two. Exhale, maybe slightly reach forward. Maybe you bend that elbow, place that forearm on that thigh. That left hand can come onto that hip or up toward that ceiling. Maybe that right hand comes down toward the ground. Breathing here. On that next breath, slowly coming up to the top of that mat, into that chair, allowing those shins and knees to go forward as those hips and glutes go back. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. I'm going to come to the other side of the mat. Now shift that weight into those left feet. Send the right foot back to warrior two, back foot parallel to the back edge of that mat. Front knee over that ankle. Reaching forward with that left arm as you're reaching back with the right. Gazing over those left fingertips. On that next breath, send that back hand toward that back leg. Lifting that front arm up toward the ceiling. And take a moment here. Noticing how the body is feeling. And that next breath, coming back into warrior two. Maybe bending that elbow, placing that forearm on that thigh. That right hand can be on that hip or up toward that ceiling. Maybe that left arm is down toward the ground. Making sure we open up that heart toward the side. On that next breath, slowly step forward up into that chair. Both knees facing forward with those shins as those hips and glutes go back. Hold here and breathe. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. I'm going to come back to my mat here. And coming back to the top of your mat, inhale, lift those arms all the way up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend those knees generously and step back into that high plank. Or maybe you have those knees down onto the ground. Keeping those elbows nice and close in towards your body, and slowly lower yourself all the way down. Bringing those forearms onto the mat, elbows directly underneath those shoulders. Grounding down through the tops of those feet, pressing the legs and that pelvic bone down into the ground as you lengthen through the spine all the way through the crown of the head. Allowing those shoulders to come back just a little bit. Maybe even allowing those elbows and feel like they are coming towards your body, even though they're not moving. Taking a few breaths here in our Sphinx pose. On that next breath, stack those forearms, place the forehead on the forearms. Bend those knees and windshield wiper those legs. Releasing the tension from your low back here. Bringing that to stillness, set those legs down. Bring those forearms back onto the mat, elbows directly underneath those shoulders. Lengthening through that spine as we press the tops of those feet, legs and pelvic bone down into the ground. pretending to bring those elbows back toward the body without moving them. Nice and lengthened, keeping the neck in line with the spine, and breathing here. On that next breath, stacking those forearms, placing the forehead on the forearms, bending those knees and windshield wipering those legs. Bringing that to stillness, sitting those legs down onto the ground. Bring those hands underneath those shoulders. And strongly press yourself up into your tabletop. Send those hips back into your child's pose. Here you can either have those legs straight and send those hips straight back, or you can bring the big toes together and the knees out wide. Send those hips back. Those arms can stay straight out. You can set the forearms down, or you can bring the arms down along your side. Taking a moment here and breathing. Allowing yourself to release the tension. Whatever feels best for you here. On that next breath, slowly coming back up and through center into that tabletop position with those wrists underneath those shoulders and knees underneath those hips. Swing those feet off to the side, coming onto our glutes, bringing those feet all the way back to the top of your mat. Keeping those legs nice and straight, grounding down through those sit bones and lengthening through your spine, hands on those legs. Inhaling here, and on that exhale, slowly forward fold and inhale back up. Continuing here with your breath, exhaling as you forward fold and inhale up. Working to keep that spine nice and elongated. Trying not to round the back. And as we do this, notice how the body is feeling with this active stretch with our breath. Maybe you even notice if you're going just a little bit further each time. If not, that's okay. No judgments, just noticing. Next time we go down, we're going to stay down. Maybe even reach those feet if you can. Lengthening through that spine. Breathing here. On this next breath, release the tension in this stretch. So allow those arms to come down, round that back. Release the tension in those legs. Just notice how this is feeling. How it feels to be able to allow the body to relax here. Slowly coming all the way back up. Bringing those hands behind you, bending those knees, bringing those feet onto the outside of the mat. Those hands, the fingers can be toward your body, they can be out to the side, or they can be facing the back of the mat, whatever feels best for you. Lifting up that heart and opening it up toward the sky. Noticing where you're feeling the stretch at, and maybe if it feels good for you, maybe you rotate those hands a little bit while you're here, and just see what feels best for you here. As we listen to and honor our body. This stretch here is really good for our society as we sit at computers or we look down at our phones. This is opening up that heart, allowing the chest area to be in the opposite position of what we normally are throughout the day. And on that next breath, bring the spine back in through neutral and windshield wiper those legs again. If you need to move those fingers, feel free to do so here. Noticing how those hips are feeling. Allowing those hips to go side to side. Our hips are very important. And it's good to take care of them and give them some love throughout the day. Let's bring that to stillness, straightening those legs, walking those hands up, bringing the torso over those sit bones. Grounding down through those sit bones and lengthening through the spine as you reach forward with those hands, activating your abs here, and slowly lower yourself all the way down. Bringing those arms up and over the ears, reaching toward that opposite wall as you press those heels toward the other wall. Just take a few deep breaths here. That next breath, bring those knees in, give them a nice big hug, and maybe even rock side to side here if that feels good for you. Bringing that to stillness, set that left foot down onto the ground, send that right ankle onto the thigh, pressing that right knee away from your body. Relaxing those shoulders and trying to use the muscles of the legs to stretch instead of the hand pressing into the leg. Maybe you stay right here. Maybe you lift that left knee over that hip. Maybe even holding the back of that thigh. Maybe you even straighten that left leg and bring those toes toward the heart. Whatever feels best for you here, listening to and honor your body. You only have one body. We want to honor that body for all that it does for us every day. If your leg is up in the air, bending that left leg. Everybody place that left foot on the right side of the mat, bringing that right foot and left knee toward the left side of the mat, opening up for a twist, trying to keep both those shoulders on the mat. Allowing the body to release and relax. Releasing that tension on those exhales. Noticing how the body is feeling here. Inhale slowly back in through center. Bring the feet and the hips back into center. Bring that left knee in, give it a nice big hug, and set that ankle onto that right thigh and press that left knee away. Relaxing those shoulders, taking a few deep breaths here. On that next breath, maybe lifting that right knee, bringing it up and over that hip, holding the back of that thigh. Maybe you even straighten that right leg, bringing those toes towards your heart. Again, listening to and honoring your body. If you are in pain, please go into one of the other modifications. We want to honor our body. Honor everything that it does for us and everywhere it takes us. If your leg is straight, bend that right leg. Everybody place that right foot on the left side of the mat, allowing that left foot and right knee to come to the right side of the mat for a twist, allowing those shoulders to stay on the ground. Breathing here, nice, big, long breaths. Allowing that body to release your tension. Allowing the body to release the tension. Relax. Slowly come back in through center. Bring both those feet onto the ground. Bring those hips in through center. Bring those knees in and give them a nice big hug. Maybe even bringing that head in toward those knees. Relaxing the shoulders and the head. Bring the bottoms of the feet together and those knees out to the side. Maybe you hold on to the ankles or onto the feet and bring them closer in towards your body. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you allow those feet and knees to come down toward the ground. Allowing those arms and shoulders to relax onto the ground. Whatever position you are in, taking some deep breaths here. And that next breath, slowly bringing those legs back in through center. Straightening those legs. We're going to come into a Shavasana. If you would like to stay longer in this Shavasana than what I have planned, please feel free to. Shavasana is a very important position. It allows us and allows our body to be able to take over all that we have done in this practice. Allows the body to receive the practice and relax. So let's take a nice big inhale here. Exhale, release. One more big inhale here and exhale, release. Bringing that breath back to its natural state. Relaxing those shoulders down onto the ground. Bringing attention to those feet. Allowing those toes and feet to relax. Releasing the tension. Maybe even allowing them to come down along the side. Bringing attention to the legs. Allow the body to release any tension that you may still have in those legs. Allow the ground to accept that tension and allow the body to release it. Bringing attention to those glutes and hips, all the heavy work that they do for us all day. Allowing them to relax. Allow them to release that tension. What does it feel like? to allow those hips and glutes to relax. Bringing attention to your low, middle, and upper back, allowing them to relax and release here. Allowing those shoulders to release and relax down toward the ground. So much tension is kept in those shoulders. Allow them to relax and release. Bringing attention to the arms, the hands, and those fingers. Allowing them to relax. Allow the ground to receive the tension. Bringing attention to the neck and the head, relaxing the jaw, the ears, the eyes, releasing any of that tension that may still be there. Just take one big inhale here. Exhale, slowly release, and just notice how it feels to allow the body to relax. Maybe you wish or to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe stretch or move, however feels best for you here. Maybe you even roll onto your favorite side, using the bottom arm as a pillow. Maybe even bringing those knees in closer to the heart. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you slowly and gently come up to a comfortable seated position. Meeting here. Grounding down through those sit bones and lengthening through that spine as you bring your hands to your heart center, relaxing those shoulders. Finding an inhale here, and on that exhale, slightly leaning forward, releasing anything that no longer serves you. On that inhale, rising back up, allowing anything you may need, allowing it to come in. Bowing the chin towards your heart as a sign of gratitude. I invite you to give gratitude to your mind, body, and breath for taking you through your practice and the rest of the day. May there be love in your heart, peace in your thoughts, and joy in your words as you carry out the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful and beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for joining me.